And here I am with the table full of these little frames. I'm gonna show you few. So I did add sewing on these three sides. I do have that black card in the background. And then I do have few pieces with this printed image. Like here, this couple, so lady. And the guy next to her. And that torch with that it's quite funny. Hello everybody. Yes, it's me. I'm crawling back from the YouTube shadows, guys. Yes, I do. You know, sometimes the imagination and creativity can drain, like a glitter pot with no lid, or a cup of tea in a busy craft room, or my patient when the scissors go missing. That's what did happen to me. I got uninspired by those YouTube trolls who take your imagination, your idea, they do share it on their channel and they never say your name or just it was inspired by YouTube. You know, there is silence, like a fart in padded room, guys. No, um, I got uninspired by these unfortunate sharings, which for some reason YouTube showed me in the big row, and it was first surprising, then slightly depressing. So I sat down with my coffee in one hand, with big cake in other hand. Now I need the gym actually. And after I cried out, I sat in front of Pinterest and I was searching for some ideas, something what we all can enjoy and what maybe will have some surprising twist. And I needed something like today's surprising twist in those pockets. It's totally inspired by Pinterest. I will leave a link down below for you to go to have a look. There is a board, pop-ups and moving parts. Go to have a look, guys. You will find there many of these videos with these torch torch navigated images. It's lots of fun and I really love them. And if you want to see few creators who always share where from they've got some inspiration and you wanna enjoy the craft and have a fun, go to check these channels, which you can see right now on the screen. These are amazing artists and I'm always thankful to see their videos because I know the video will be full of amazing art and they are just awesome. And before I will move to tutorial how to create from toilet paper rolls these magical pockets, I want to say one more thing. I really missed you guys so much. And I hope that today craft session we will both enjoy. I definitely did and I love these little pockets. Come to craft with me and thank you. And now how you can create this beautiful magic and what you will need for that. I'm gonna be using toilet paper rolls because it's just perfect material for it. I do have here packaging tape, clear packaging tape, which is one thing you can use. Or maybe you do have at home these shipping labels, label, what is it, holders. They can be used as well because they do have sticky side here, so they will cover all the space when you will create the window, so you can use that. I'm gonna be using alcohol for spraying those toilet paper rolls. It's just to make them inside I do have 99% alcohol and I'm using it just because to sterilize those toilet paper rolls. Just for that, it doesn't have any other reason. Then to color my already made frames, I'm gonna be using brownie alcohol ink from Octopus Company, but you can use any kind of ink you have. You don't have to use even alcohol ink. You can use inks like stamping inks, or you can use some paint, acrylic paint. Decorate your frames the way you want. You can use printed paper, you can use book pages. Just enjoy the creation of your own frames. And then for that stamping, that will be the tape or this one. Or if you do have laser printer, you can print out some images on acetate sheets, something like this. So you will have already everything printed and you don't have to stamp anything. And then I will be using for stamping, I will be using mostly Tim Holtz stamps, and you will see that in that process. First, what I'm going to do is spray the toilet paper rolls with that alcohol to kill any kind of bacteria. You can, if you don't have alcohol spray, you can use microwave and place these for short time in your microwave. Do not make it there too long, because it doesn't have to be there for long. Once these are dry, I'm gonna grab my scissors and simply cut the roll and make it flat. I'm gonna place it onto this, and I'm gonna cut another one. So all my rolls will be cut this way. To flat down those toilet paper rolls, you can either take, if you do have some machine like this is Sizzix Bix Plus, and I'm using it for embossing, for cutting images, and it's also wonderful tool for flattening those toilet paper rolls. So just place few and go through to your machine. And if you will go few times, those toilet paper rolls will get nice and flat. If you don't have a machine like that, you can use the hair straightener and straight or flatten your toilet paper rolls with this or with normal iron, and that will help you to make these rolls nice and flat. I'm gonna keep my toilet paper rolls under this heavy plate, and I'm gonna take one by one and start to cut the window in it. For creating the window, I can use either dies, or I can just simply start to draw the frame by using my ruler and pencil. So here, very simple way. Drawing the frame. Now I'm gonna cut off this inside, and to make it look a little bit vintage, I can also cut that inside, not exactly like a rectangle, but I can keep these corners in the angle. So I will actually cut out this shape. It will look like vintage label, and it will keep the rest of that frame in vintage look, beautiful vintage look. So this I can cut off by using knife and ruler, like that. And also I don't like these sharp corners, so I can take scissors and cut off a little bit of these sharp corners, just really very small amount of that toilet paper roll, just to make it look more vintage. That will be base. I have accidentally deleted part where I am coloring my cutout frames. First I did a little stamping here and there on these frames, and I did used archival ink, black archival ink, and then after stamping I did use this sponge tool and alcohol ink brownie from Octopus, and I did color all these frames with this ink. I'm sorry I did deleted that, but these were simple steps. So I do have many frames already prepared, and now I can start to do some stamping for on either this clear packaging tape or this clear label pocket. First I'm gonna show you on this pocket how I can create that stamping, that image, and for that I did prepare this little tool. This is backing from double-sided tape. I had a roll of this this size of double-sided tape, full roll, so I saved few of these pieces, but you can use the baking paper, you can use freezer paper. They both are not non-sticky papers, so you can use that instead of backing from some tape. I do have this one, so I use that, and I did cut the window here, which is slightly bigger than the window on my frames. Now on this window I'm gonna start with this. And the reason why I am using sticky thing to stamp my images even with archival ink, it's just because I want to be sure that it will stay there. Sometimes it happens to me that I do touch my stamping too early before it's dry, and I do make smushes all over of that stamping. So this is, I think, step for me where I'm making sure that the stamping will stay still and hopefully will be nice even after a few days. So and you can use actually any kind of ink once you are using some sticky background, not just archival ink or some, you know, permanent ink. So I'm gonna glue it over that window. And as I said, this is a label pocket, so it does have this acetate piece, and that's perfect because I'm gonna actually be using it after stamping on this sticky side. So I'm gonna cut it off straight away. Here I need to be careful, do not cut off this bottom part where I'm gonna be doing that stamping. So very carefully I'm trying to cut that one layer, this layer. So I do have this here. I'm gonna be using it later. Now I wanna get to this sticky side. That's why I'm using this non-sticky paper, because here I'm gonna do my stamping. I'm gonna be using Tim Holtz stamps, and I do have here this collection. Oops. Oh yeah. I do have here this collection of stamps, and it is, I'm gonna flip it this way, it is mercantile, maybe I do pronounce that wrong way, but hopefully it's some kind of clothes. And I do have here prepared pieces from same material, from this material, which represents the main point, this guy and the hand, which I like to use on my stamping. So I think I'm gonna be using the hand now. And as I said, this is that sticky part, so any kind of ink, you don't have to use archival ink, any kind of ink will work on this. And I want to create a little collage. Oh, I do have that smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. A little collage with my stamps. That's why I do have this, which will overlay now the stamping. I'm gonna place it over that image, and I can stamp with other stamps. So I'm gonna be using this. And do stamping here. Maybe this way. Like this. Now I'm gonna grab the bottle. This beautiful bottle. And I'm guessing that bottle could be somewhere here. Kind of behind. Oops. Like behind that hand. And maybe something like this. There. The good part is that I can place it under and have a look what I would like to see in there. Ooh, remember now. Why not? And I'm gonna stamp it right there. Okay, that's done. That's all my stamping. I'm not gonna put there more. Now I can take off this. Now comes the part where when I will be using this this other part, or this other side acetate. I'm gonna place it over this stamping, glue it down, and cut any kind of extras around that window. Anything what seems to be not glued down. Now when I do have covered all that stamping, I can take one of these frames. I think this way. I'm gonna peel off this part from here. And place it right here. And cut off anything peeking out on sides. That was with that packaging envelope or pouch. Now I'm gonna show you how you can create it with the tape. I just forgot to mention, for those who do have embossing or cutting machine and you like embossing effect or embossed effect, you can use your embossing folders and emboss these little frames for your creation. So now for that packaging tape, I'm gonna fold it just to protect the tape from sticking to my table, and start with quite similar thing. I'm gonna layer over that window packaging tape. I will have to add there 2 layers, and because I wanna have one picture, I will overlap these 2 layers of tape a little bit, just a little bit. Overlap these 2 layers. Now on this sticky side I can do my stamping, and again I'm gonna be using same stamps from Tim Holtz, and I'm gonna do my little layout here. I'm gonna start with this guy because I do have that overlay ready to go. And just place him here, and now place this overlay over that guy. And as I said, it's from same material, from this non-sticky material, because I know I can place it on that sticky material and then peel it off without any damage of the tape or that stamping. So this is perfect to have in your craft room if you want to do something like this, some layering. What I can. I'm gonna, I guess, use these butterflies because I think I will love to have that butterfly. one here, and one here. Like this. So he does have wings, and this butterfly will go from the corner. Oh, like that. It's not totally perfect because I didn't do those layers, but maybe it will be good. I'm gonna close this, tidy up this one. I'm gonna peel off the layer. Ish. Well, it's not perfect. I do have quite big gap here, but you can imagine the thing, the trick, what you can use. So now from this sticky side, I'm gonna use again that packaging tape, and I will try to cover the window, you know, from the side, not too much overlap, just trying to place it exactly on the window like this, and cut it exactly when the window ends. Like this. Ooh, and do not stick myself into it. Just slightly. Like this. Now anything what will be, again, anything what will be over the edge, I'm gonna cut off with my scissors. So I'm gonna peel off the tape from here. And what didn't get stick to that background, I'm gonna cut off. Like this. And a little bit here. And that next step is exactly same. I'm gonna peel it off. Where is some end? Oh, come on. I'm gonna peel it off. Place the frame. Which way? I think this one. Yeah. Place the guy in that window. And glue it down. Press, 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 and everything what is around, what is like extras, I'm gonna cut off with my scissors. And here it is, stamped image by using packaging tape. And you can go over it with your fingers, and it's not gonna slide down. It will work with any kind of ink. I did use Ranger archival ink, but any kind of ink will do same because that sticky material is holding everything. And there you have it. Frames with stamped images or with printed images. Very next step is getting these decorated. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my cutting knife and distress the edges of these frames. You can use scissors to open them like this, and just rub the scissors on the edge of your card and make it look more old, distressed, vintage. Now on this bunch of beautiful frames, I'm gonna add a little bit more decorations. First, I do have here this, pardon me, this old envelope. I'm gonna change slightly the color of that envelope. And I'm gonna be using for that, this is shoe polish, but I did mix it with acrylic paint, with black acrylic paint. It was originally brown. So now the black, it's not too dark. It's kind of like, I don't want to say gray because it's not exactly gray. And maybe, yeah, maybe gray. Or it's like slightly semi-transparent, I will say. Semi-transparent black. So I'm gonna be using this to cover all of my envelope. And change that color. And to add a little bit more dramatic look, I'm gonna also add brownie alcohol ink over this. So it will make really beautiful dark color on this brown envelope. And it will be not just brown of this brown alcohol ink, but it will be there also that black black inkish, that black color from that shoe polish. So I do have this. I'm gonna let this dry properly. And I did cut that strips out of that cardstock in the size 1/4 of inch by 1/4 of inch by 2.5 inches, kind of ish. It's not exact neat measurement. Now I'm gonna be using these strips to decorate my little frames. First, because I really don't like sharp corners, I'm gonna use this corner punch. Then I'm gonna poke the hole, or yeah, poke the hole somewhere here close to end. I'm gonna take one of these frames and have a look where I will want it. So I'm gonna have a look where I think here. Yes, here I will really like this little thing. So I'm thinking I'm gonna place it there with all leg. So I'm gonna distress the edges or make them slightly a little bit more black. By the way, in the description box under this video there will be a link to my Patreon where you can download this sheet for free. These are little torches with the hand which will be used to see actually the images inside of these prints as you saw at the start of this video. So if you want these, you can download them for free. The link is down below. Or you can draw something like this, something like torch with the little light shape by your hand and use that. As I said, I'm gonna distress the edges of this little piece just to make it more visible. I think I'm gonna place it here. Oh no, where was that image? Here it's living room, so here, yeah, here. I'm gonna glue it first, then poke the hole one more time through to both layers. Now I'm gonna poke the hole through to both layers. I'm gonna be using these beautiful brads which I found on Amazon, I believe. I will try to have a look. If I will find the link, I will put link for these brads down below. Now I'm gonna slide it through to both layers. Here, make it flat. And to make it look slightly more vintage, I'm gonna be using my hammer and just knock it down, and it will give, beautiful look. This other side here, I'm gonna cover the end of that brat with a tape. Here I'm gonna be using this medical tape because it does stick really well. It's strong, it's semi-transparent, so I know this will help really cover the brat ends, and I'm gonna place it on all the bottom piece, or on all that bottom of that card. I'm gonna cut off that rest. So now I do have decoration like this. I have finished all these strips and placing the brats. I also placed all my little frames with the images the right way to me, so they are not upside down. So I do have, the fella the right way, not upside down. Also these printed images, like here, this little room, I do have the right way, not upside down. So I did place it that way, and I do have here my little box of stamped images, all kind of stamped images on off cards, which I did in the past. This is very useful to have if you do have some stamps you like to use, and you will end up after finishing some journal or some craft session, you will have many off cards. It's great to prepare your little stamped images, because right now I'm gonna dig into this little box and I'm gonna start to put my stamped images where I think I will like them, and with that I can also kind of navigate myself which way the image goes, so the written words will be placed the right way, not upside down again. So I'm gonna dig here and put here and there some little quotes, or maybe some numbers, little tickets like this, maybe here. So all this I'm gonna prepare right now and glue it down, and I will come back once it's all this done. I have finished those little decorations here and there, and I also prepared a bunch of black cardstock. The background needs to be dark. You can either use already black paper, or you can use your inks and color some paper, but you need to have a darker background. It doesn't have to be black, it can be brown or gray, but it needs to have darker colors, so you will don't see the stamping or print on that acetate piece. That's the main point of this, and then that light, that torch will work. If you will have white background, you will obviously see what is on your acetate, and then the torch will be useless. So make sure you will have some black background, or dark background, and glue these pieces together. I'm gonna put here and there just bit of glue them temporarily, and then I will use my sewing machine, and I will make sewing effect on 3 sides. Also, what I would like to do on each of these cards, the entry where my torch will go, I will mark with a little notch like here, and then that glue will go everywhere on my fingers. Look at that. Then that glue will go on those rest 3 sides like this. Do I have it right? I'm gonna check the image, because oh yeah, lamp, yes, ceiling lamp. So now I can place it together, glue these together, and on these 3 sides I will add sewing with my sewing machine. And here I am with the table full of these little frames. They are all sewn on three sides, and one side is always open for this hand. Don't forget you can download the sheet with these little torches for free. Link will be down below. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to. These pockets will be amazing with any kind of white insert you will add inside, and they will be very decorative. Even with that stamping, if you did your own stamping, it will be really beautiful decoration for your journals, and maybe surprising decoration for your journals, like this. And if I helped spark your creativity, don't forget to sprinkle a little bit back, like a glitter, but less messy. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending your time with me. I wish you all a beautiful day. Take care of yourself, and I will come back soon.